Hello, I'm Steve Waterworth, Technical Marketing Manager at Weaveworks. In this video, I'm going to show you Weave GitOps Trusted Delivery using policy as code. Weave GitOps is a continuous operations product that makes it easy to deploy and manage Kubernetes clusters and applications at scale in any environment. Built on Flux, it provides continuous application delivery while enhancing security and accelerating software delivery lifecycle. Giving DevOps engineers the freedom to deliver new features and fixes while at the same time ensuring standards are met for security, resilience, and coding standards is a difficult balancing act to achieve. Using Weave GitOps Trusted Delivery automates policy validation throughout the software delivery lifecycle. Weave GitOps Trusted Delivery is built on the standard Open Policy Agent. It includes a curated library of over 100 policies, covering industry standards and best practices. Policy checks can be performed throughout the software delivery lifecycle, for example via a GitHub action on pull request, integrated into constant integration image builds, and there's an admission controller at deploy time. Periodic runtime reporting is also available showing compliance status across all your clusters. Automatic policy validation shifts left compliance responsibility, reducing the reliance on manual review and approval, accelerating software delivery.
In Weave GitOps Enterprise, policies are defined on a cluster-by-cluster basis. They are stored in Git, and so we're going to take a look at one particular cluster and the policies that are enabled there. As you can see, there's quite a number of policies that are in place on this cluster demo 28, but you'll also see that there's specific policies that are attached to one of the tenants. These tenant level policies can be defined independent or in addition to policies at the cluster level. Tenant policy is actually defined in Git in a tenant and can be pretty much anything that you need to do here. So this might be, as in this case, only certain Git repositories can modify the deployments in this tenant. The images can only come from specific registries and things like that. So how does this affect the application deployment? So the first part of this is that you have to be able to observe the whole pipeline as an application moves through the stages of deployment. For example, development, UAT, staging, and production for this particular pipeline. Now these staging environments can be on multiple clusters and actually can be on multiple providers. Weave GitOps Enterprise can work across cloud providers and on-premise providers, or both at the same time. So what happens when an application violates a policy? How does the deployment change and what can be done to rectify that? So again, let's go to our demo cluster that we're using and take a look at the applications deployed there. As we look across, we can see there are several applications deployed, and we notice that one shows not ready, and it is in the SuperDevs tenant. So taking a look at that specific application, we can see the policy violation right here at the top, and it says the minimum replica count in the deployment is either not set or set to 0 and must be set equal to 2. It has reconciled, but it has not actually deployed this application until this policy violation is fixed. In the GitOps methodology, we would go in and actually correct this, either manually as I am demonstrating here, or using a CI tool or other process that you may already have in place. So what we need to do is we need to set a replica count here that will allow us to do this. So we will set replicas to 2, and we will commit this change. Now, the GitOps methodology says that the commit is what is required. In this particular application's case, it requires a pull request to be approved before this deployment change can be initiated. When this is accepted and committed, we can go back to the application itself and directly reconcile it by syncing this particular application. If no policy is violated, the deployment will proceed, and in the pipeline it will indicate that the version of the deployment has now been incremented. These guardrails that are put in place across the pipelines, across the tenants, and across the applications themselves ensure that the deployment meets compliance requirements, for example, or organizational policy, as well as operational policy. These guardrails assure that the application as deployed either by the development teams or by the operations teams are compliant with the regulations and policies that have been put in place at the organizational level.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found it informative. To learn more about this topic, follow the bit.ly link or scan the QR code to download a white paper. To find out more about Weave GitOps, visit our website. We regularly host hands-on workshops. To join in, visit our events page.